Hey, what's up everyone? Just checking in to give my thoughts on the Song Machine Gorillaz project. So we're coming up on the big album Song Machine Season 1 they're calling it. That's going to be released this Friday, so that's coming up really soon. Um, and just here to talk about the exciting rollout that's been happening since January of this year. Um, if you don't know what it is, Gorillaz have been doing this kind of web series thing where they drop a track every, few weeks or every month, or it's pretty sporadic, but it seems kind of like every month or so. The first one dropped in January, so before the whole pandemic thing, and when it came out, we weren't really sure if it was like a sort of a one-off single or if it would, culminate into an album or not. But here we are in October, and the album is on the horizon. Excuse the noise in the background. They're doing some work next door. So Momentary Bliss was the first track with Slow Tie and Slaves, and this one, I wasn't too familiar with the band Slaves. They did a great job on this track. It's got a nice drive. It starts off slow and goes increasingly frantic. It's a lot of fun. It's punchy. It's in a lot of ways the most pop single of this album cycle. And you have Damon saying Rita in a kind of a tribute to Lovely Rita by the Beatles. So that's a lot of fun too. And that was, I don't think I watched any of the music videos for the project, but that was definitely a cool video. Désolé dropped a little later on. I think it was in March, and it's just a beautiful longing song in the vein of El Mañana or Amarillo from the Fall, and maybe everyone's favorite On Melancholy Hill. I can't pronounce the lady's name. It's Fatoma something or other. Here, I scribbled it down, but I can't even read my own writing. Here, Fatoumata Diawara, and her singing is just incredible. And the Désolé refrain is very, kind of gets stuck in your head. So Damon and her sing that, or 2D I should say. The production is flawless, of course. The singing is inspired. 2D has a very honest delivery on this. I find that half of the tracks now with the Gorillaz, like post Demon Days, half of them are kind of done over that kind of megaphone sort of effect. It sounds like he's singing over a megaphone. And then half of them are kind of more clear, and they use that to great effect in the more kind of honest entries. Aries, which I am, is the next one, and this one was met with a lot of success. This one is Georgia, who I believe is on like I think she's playing like an electric keyboard, because I was kind of expecting her to sing at first. And then Peter Hook, of course, from New Order, bass player from New Order, Joy Division, of course, and when it was announced that he was going to be on this track, it just blew my mind. I couldn't believe that they got Peter Hook. Sometimes when they get some of those older guys, like, it just blows my mind that, because some of them are kind of like crotchety old dudes and everything, and, they're legends in their own right, but it's just crazy to me that they'd like to work on such a, inspired, forward-thinking project, and, maybe of course they would, but, Damon has a lot of pull now as a, as a composer and as a collaborator, so I guess that's how they got him. I remember reading stories, though, from other collaborators, and they had no idea who Gorillaz were, but they're like their granddaughter liked Gorillaz or whatever, so they decided to work with them then, and then it turned out wonderful. That might have been true for Bobby Womack, I'm not sure, but it was a couple of the older dudes. Yeah, this one was met with a lot of success, definitely. You know, they all work because it's Gorillaz, but, you know, some took off more than others, and I remember this one actually, like, charted and everything. It might be my favorite. It's a stellar composition. The bass, of course, is top-notch. It really brings to mind those classic New Order and Joy Division songs. For me, it kind of teleports me back to maybe like early to mid 80s New Order, like Movement and Power, Corruption and Lies. It just has this very warm kind of vibe to it. It's kind of got this longing way about it, but also kind of happy and warm too. The beat is just irresistible. The first time I heard this, you have to dance. Like, I was kind of wiggling around and moving my feet, and I don't even really dance, but it's kind of like Dare, the song they did with Shawn Ryder all those years ago. You just have to, like, move something, and yeah, it just gets you moving. It's just an amazing track. And it was recorded before the COVID-19 pandemic, so the fact that it dropped right when things were really starting to get really ugly, and I feel so isolated without you, like that, it was very timely. Also timely, in a sad way, but it was a tribute. How Far was released fourth for this project, but it wasn't an official release. They weren't planning on releasing this until Tony Allen sadly passed away, so rest in power to Tony Allen, one of the best drummers in the world. So he passed away and they kind of rushed this out. I think it came out like almost the next day or something, like maybe it was a few days, but it just seemed so sudden, and I guess they had this in the vault. And I don't think it was going to make the cut originally, but it has his drumming on it and Skepta rapping on it. And this one, when it dropped, and since, I thought, okay, it's far and away the weakest, but it's still a really cool track, and I really enjoy it. And I don't know, I say that, but like, it's not noticeably the weakest anymore. Like, it's really grown on me, and it's a solid one. I think what kind of rubbed me the wrong way was the chorus, but just the production, the nice flow. Yeah, Skepta is another collaborator, like Slaves, that I wasn't familiar with him at all, but he does a great job. He works it out here. He even says there's a line about expensive shit, which is a tribute definitely to Fela, who, you know, Tony Allen, of course, worked with back in the day on all those classic records. And yeah, that was a nice tribute to Fela, and then Tony Allen's work with Fela, and then of course the whole track is a tribute or a celebration of Tony Allen. So yeah, it's weird because it wasn't an official episode of Song Machine. It just kind of dropped out of nowhere. But it's, you know, going to be on the album now, and I think it might not have been, or maybe it was going to be on the deluxe album, but not the truncated track listing. I can't really remember what tracks are on the deluxe and what are on the non-deluxe, because in my opinion, just like with Humans, why would you buy the non-deluxe? Because you're missing out on like 5 songs or something, and they're all like equally as good as these other songs. It seems like you're just buying an incomplete album if you just buy the, like, you know, 10-track, 11-track version, because there's so much more. Then we go to Friday the 13th, with Octavian. And this one, I think, was kind of the most polarizing, and I didn't think I would like it right away, and I just loved it. It's such a feel-good song. It has such a good vibe. So for me, it's massively enjoyable. It's up there with Aries. It might be my second favorite. It's so hard to pick because, you know, these songs are so good. So maybe that's an acquired taste for some of the fans my age that aren't really into this style of rap, or they wouldn't usually listen to this. But for me, I thought Octavian's work was amazing on this. And you know, it's kind of like it's such a chill kind of summer song, and his part on it is kind of just about, you know, relaxing, and then 2D comes in with "Oh, it's a beautiful day," and the synths, you know, come up, and you know, the production kind of swells, and that "Oh, it's a beautiful day" refrain. It's like, you know, when everything's so crazy and horrible, and you know, life's spinning out of control, and then you hear this song, and you're like, okay, it's all right here. At least that worked for me, and I listened to this song a lot in the summer. And like a lot of Gorillaz collabs, I checked out, you know, the guest artists' work, Octavian, and because half of these artists on Song Machine I knew, and then half of them were surprises, which usually happens with Gorillaz. But I checked out some of his other work, and yeah, the most streamed song on Spotify by him I didn't like very much, and then a lot of the other stuff I was really into. And he did another collaboration a year or two ago, and I really dug that. So yeah, I had a few more songs to add to the playlist. And then, oh man, Pac-Man is next, and this was with Schoolboy Q, so of course a lot of people were really waiting on this one. This track just has an amazing swagger. It's just as danceable as Friday 13th or Aries. And the whole I'm stressing out refrain, it feels like you're going through a portal, and the whole song shifts. And my only complaint against this one is 3 minutes, I think it's like 3 minutes 14 seconds or something like that, or 3:21, or it's way too short, and Schoolboy just really gets going, and then the song just cuts away, and it makes that little like Pac-Man sound. They sample the game, and it's like, no, like, he was just getting started there. It should have been a 4.5 minute track. It could have at least used another minute on it. Too short, yeah, but great song. Really loved that one. And then the Peter Hook thing, I said that blew my mind when I realized that Peter Hook was on a track and they were working with Hook, and because he's an idol of mine. But then it was announced, you know, this one was teased, and they said, here's my 2D impression, it's a name that, it sort of rhymes with "with." And I was like, "With? With? It rhymes with "with," and I couldn't think of it, and they were playing a little sample in the background, not of the singing, but of the instrumental. And then it turned out to be, the next day, it dropped, and it was Robert Smith, and I was like, Robert Smith, oh my god. Another living legend from The Cure, obviously. A band that we saw years back. They played for 3 hours straight. One of the most memorable live shows. But Robert Smith, oh my god. This one is just has a massive sound to it. It's spacey, it's echoey, which it should be, because the whole line is spinning around the world at night. It's the first track of the project, surprisingly, that was recorded during the pandemic, and it was recorded through email. I think that's what 2D said, so emailing back and forth with Robert Smith. And yeah, strange times, and it definitely was, so I guess you can kind of tell, even though Aries has that one line, but that's just a coincidence, but you can tell that this one is the first to be recorded during the pandemic. As a little side note, they actually dropped a remix at the exact same time, and it hit Spotify, and it's part of the single. You have a couple Machine Bites, the studio track that I'm talking about, and then a Aurora remix. And a lot of people go, oh, remixes, throwaway, but, you know, there's always been some interesting remixes in the Gorillaz camp, ever since G-Sides way back in the day. There were some good, like, Clint Eastwood kind of re-recordings. D-Sides had some good remixes by DFA and stuff. And I would have to recommend this one. It's got more of a punch to it than the studio track, and it's mostly instrumental, but you are graced with Robert's my cat Robert's singing at the end there. There's also some very faint jazz samples in the track, and there's also, I swear, there's a sample from March of the Swivelheads by the English Beat, which plays in Ferris Bueller's Day Off at the end in the chase scene. And I can hear this one, it's kind of the sustained, like, oh, and that plays in the March of the Swivelheads, which was a very obscure single, or B-side to a single. I think it was a B-side to Mirror in the Bathroom way back in the day, and John Hughes had to have that in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, and they were probably like, why is he using this song? And now it's classic, like, it's so good, and I swear there's a sample in there, but I'm not really always the best at, because samples are kind of, you know, kind of mixed around in there, sped up, slowed down, and I'm always interested to see where samples come from and what they morph into and all that. But I swear it's in there, and there's definitely like a jazz sample in there. It's a very interesting remix. It's almost as good as the original version. It's almost like too bad it's not on the album, but you know, you wouldn't want to put two versions of Strange Times on the albums. But if they released it as a 7-inch or something, I would buy it. Like, it's a great remix. So Aurora Remix, check that one out too. And then lastly, and you know, we're days away from hearing the rest of the tunes, but the last pre-release single hyping us all up was The Pink Phantom, which Sir Elton is on. What? And Six Lack, which I think that's how you pronounce it. Six Lack, or... yeah, anyway. Really young dude, really talented, and him and Sir Elton, like, what a weird mix. It's so ambitious, it's a crazy mixture, and for me it works. And I think a lot of people, especially Sir Elton purists, are not gonna look too kindly to this, and I remember a lot of hype, like Elton and Gorillaz, and then it seemed like some people were like, oh yeah, that was really cool, and some people were like, I didn't dig that one at all. And yeah, I thought it was really solid. I can't remember how it places in the track list of Song Machine, but it sounds like a great closer in my opinion. It just has this kind of longing, like, final definite sound to it. And let's see where it places here. No, it's like right in the middle. It might end side A, I'm not sure. It's track 6, it says, so. Momentary Bliss is the... yeah, that's not very good sequencing. We have an extended version of De Soleil to look forward to on the album. 5 minutes, 33 seconds. Ooh, I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, so the Song Machine's almost here. The last thing I wanted to add about the Pink Phantom is it samples Busted and Blue from the Humans era, excuse me. And so that's really cool. That was cool to hear. So yeah, like I said, we're just days away from you know, the Song Machine to be unleashed on us. We have tracks featuring Beck to look forward to, Lee John, St. Vincent, holy, Kano's back. He collaborated with Gorillaz on White Flag, which was an amazing Plastic Beach tune. Sorry, Fleetwood the Rock and Roll Kitty is trying to get in on this video. He goes, I haven't been in a video in a while. Roxanne Aries is also on the album, and her name isn't like bolded or anything. You can't even click on it, so maybe she's like a really new artist. That'll be exciting. JPEG Mafia they got. That's pretty cool. He's done some tracks that got a lot of attention. Chai, four-member all-female rock band from Japan. They're on the same track that JPEG is on. Moonchild Sanali, I hope I'm not butchering that name. She's on one of the tracks in love with love from an ex, or to an ex. Gold Link, Unknown Mortal Orchestra, wow, that's quite a mix. Earth Gang, and Joan as Policewoman. So in addition to all the collaborators that I just mentioned that were on the pre-release, pre-hype Song Machine tracks, you have all those ones to look forward to too. So let's get ready. It's about to get heavy. No, it's about to get really good. October 23rd, this Friday. Follow your Song Machine, and yeah, maybe I'll talk about the final album too. But as you can tell, I'm really hyped for this record. I think it's going to be one of the best of 2020, and this has been one of the most exciting rollouts from the end of January all the way till now, having these songs drop every month or two, and in my opinion, I know there's people that dig half or don't dig any or dig all but one, but I'm digging all these tunes. They're all great. Like, they're all gonna sound so great in the Gorillaz canon, and I'm so excited to hear the other half of this Song Machine. So we're in these strange times, but we still have some things to look forward to. So if you like Gorillaz too, and if you're looking forward to this album, and if you like these tracks or don't like these tracks, let me know. Yeah, definitely, hit the subscribe if you want to see some more videos. And I appreciate everyone that's been watching lately. It's been awesome. And yeah, just rock on, peace and love, and let's all enjoy the Gorillaz, because they're incredible. Okay, we'll see you soon.